Okay, hello YouTube, and welcome back to Shadow Empire. We're going to basically pick up where we left off last time. This time at the beginning of round 7, where we suffered no losses on the previous turn, nor made no kills. Though we have one decision and a bunch of reports that we probably aren't going to read. Kors wants total power over his estate. No, our population has some rights, man. We gained a zone project, we gained a commercial project, which I will execute in our capital. Let's see if we can get this guy to go away. And we did. Mission successful. And you can see that even though we haven't had any combat, our poor souls that got cut off from supply haven't had the best of times, as we've already lost 10% of them from just probably desertions because of lack of food. That should probably slowly get fixed over time. No, that was the bottom line. Didn't want to press. I want to place replenishment troops. So we're of our professional army. It's saying 1,000. We have 100 troops here, ready to go out to our units. That's actually 100 militia forces ready to go out to our units. So I'm going to go ahead and recruit 6 subunits for a total of 600 infantry, so that our professional army units can actually get up to full strength, probably promptly before we get into their first combat, which will be against this large combat unit of Confeds, by the looks of it. Confed militia. And I think, well, that's going to be our turn. The one interesting card we got was that commercial project that I went ahead and immediately set up early on. Offer protection. The commune will say no. Obviously the faction war is going to say no. The nomads will say no, they'll say no. They're already at war with the major, so that's actually giving us a good idea of how close the next major is that we're only like 2 minors away from a major. And that's the turn, pretty much. We've got enough ammunition sitting around, we already did the replenishment troops for the turn, so I think we can roll over into turn 8. And we got another commercial project. And we got a big batch of militia. So do I want to leave the big batch of militia in the capital, or do I want to send them to the front? I think the answer is I'm going to send them to the front. On their turn, they managed to break out of the encirclement because it wasn't a very tight encirclement. And by doing so, put this poor unit into encirclement again. Take what remains of their territory in our rear. Oops, meant to go here, not there, but that'll be fine. They're unlikely to attack us. We need to be a little bit careful of taking territory off the nomads, because that's one way to piss the nomads off. I'd prefer not to have the nomads coming down our throat. We'll use the robot to attempt to encircle them, because he doesn't need to worry about supplies. Our civilians here have decided to expand out to the ice mine, which I'm not opposed to. It doesn't rain on this map because it's too cold. Well, the nearby street decided to be loud. Loud car, be loud. We've got more decisions this turn, so how do you want to adjust the national budget? The answer is I probably... Well, I'll hit confirm.
Yes,
Well, I'll hit no changes. We'll keep it as it is. So in this one, obviously at this point it's time to do some research. Do we want to do economic research and military research? I'm not too worried about getting our army to be better, per se. Right, I want the ability to replace and upgrade units, but I didn't necessarily need better guns or anything yet. So let's go economic.
Yes, sir.
We've developed artillery. What we can do is we can now build sort of motorized artillery units to support during siege operations. So we need to. I'll hit no new orders, because really what I'm looking for is I'm actually looking for tanks. Even though we probably don't have the petrol for tanks to go zooming across the plains of our ice bowl planet. Strategy cards, we got another commercial project, so I'm going to immediately deploy that commercial project. Which will probably, in no short order, actually help us a lot with our demands, right? So one of our demands is get the average quality of life of our zones to reach 6. Those commercial zones do provide quality of life. So if we get enough of those set up, they will improve the quality of life to meet that need. Our professional army didn't take any combat losses in the last turn, so we needed replacements. So I think we're good to cycle the turn again. So the enemy does attempt and succeeds at attempting to escape encirclement, running back towards their capital. Prospecting push, if we had the political power for, would probably be pretty good. This is the city we're trying to take. If we can, we would like to defeat as many of the units outside the city as possible. If for no other reason than to minimize damage to the city as we're taking it by storm. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and recruit another junior. And I'm going to take a relook at that choice. So I think the new junior I just recruited, because I didn't remember them having 0 before. I think the new junior has a little bit of skill at the economic council. And has capacity 2 leader instead of the cap 1 of the old one. Okay, yeah.
Order received.
So economic priorities is fine, prospecting is fine. Right now we want to turn discovery up and research down. We can come back and change that later, but for the moment that's what we'll do.
Order received.
They are requesting a donation, but they're requesting more funds than the treasury has, so I'm going to tell them no. On the other hand, nomads, I am willing to buy your munitions. Yeah, they have more funds than the treasury has, and I don't want to sell any of my precious materials. Well, I suppose I could check. How much is food going for? Fuel, metal, water, food. Yeah, I'm not going to sell that much food. So sorry, negative. I don't have the money to pay you this turn. You demanded a donation and you got told no because, you know, we got a war going on. The war takes precedence. And I've done as I normally do, is I've put a machine gun, fairly large machine gun unit on the capital to guard the capital. Just to free up more militia units to the front. And I think that's that turn. I could try the prospecting push. A little bit worse. I need like 11 up roll. So by 11 up, I mean like if you're rolling a d20, I'd have to roll 11 plus to make it work.
Order received.
We'll do the roll. We actually succeeded on the roll and found water. Given that this is an ice planet, I probably don't need water, but, you know, it's better to find it and not need it than to need it and not find it. Mining overview. No, I wanted, where's my prospecting overview? One above it, of course. There are one zone where we think we can still discover deposits, so we think we can still find more in Minos. But right now, we are only finding water deposits. And in theory, there's some unknown deposits, so there's probably an iron deposit somewhere in the zone, is what I'm guessing. Iron's pretty common. But that's the turn, so we'll cycle the turn. Okay, so for my benefit, they did not retreat into the city. And the nomads are getting uncomfortably close to the capital.
Yes, sir.
But they won't take the capital because we are technically in a state of peace. These militia, on the other hand, are not going to go running off to the front because I need them to stay around to protect the road. Nope, I'm getting a phone call. Go ahead and put a quick cut in here. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Scam caller being scam caller. Well, robo scam caller being rival scam caller. And we'll get back to where we were, which was me trying to check. We do have an artillery division here. They've used up too many action points, however it looks of it, to do a range attack. So we won't do a range attack as a preparatory bombardment. I think that's basically the turn. We got a couple zone things. We can... Oh, I can put the last commercial project in our capital. So a lot of civilian buildings cap out at 3. The commercial project is not special in that regard. It still also caps out at 3. And obviously go around and check to see what the state of things is. Our diplomacy is not good enough to make these guys accept an offer of protection. Guys to the south here. And if that isn't going to be good enough, we'll probably go invade them next. And then we'll cycle the turn. Two decisions, 74 reports. No fighting as the war maneuver continued to be a war maneuver. And again, because the commercial project's being set up, we have achieved the average quality of life score that we were asked to do earlier. We've now discovered the concept of light tanks. Whether we'll be able to afford any of those is a thing that I am not sure of yet. But, you know, man can dream about his tanks. And we attempt to crush the city.
Go. Operation successful.
And we successfully crush the city. And we position as many of our forces as plausible on the city to suppress the inevitable unrest from taking the city. Workers hold a vote. Work Council has organized a referendum under the employees of the Supreme Command Council. This resulted in demand for slightly less working hours. Workers Council agrees it will actually improve efficiency. Yeah, I'm pro-democracy. We agree with the vote. The vote can go ahead. Tank. So, big gun. Right now we're mainly just sort of zooming around the wasteland, so the lightest armor and heaviest engine for very fast, very shooty tanks, please. I think for the moment that's all we're gonna do. Can propose peace with miners, but that's not gonna make a difference. I could propose peace with the one that is currently being invaded by the major, but that's probably not worth my time. No losses, no kills, 4 decisions. And officially, we have acquired High Mount because they were not able on their turn to take it back. And looks like, as a result of us taking it, they have officially surrendered the rest of their zone to us. So we acquired another ice mine. I think that was the ice we discovered with the prospecting earlier. Ooh, mercenary outpost. Online forces, there's the faction at war with the other major. And we have the Borean commune to the south. Sure, we'll probably need power plants, so with the small amount of science I'm giving you, feel free to put that into power plants. Demagogue. Find this demagogue and arrest him, or try to convince the population that he is not good. Either way, this is a roll that we're probably going to lose. Because it looks like we either need 164, which we're going to fail, because we can't even roll that high, or average of 104 with a roll where we're going to be short 8 of a D100. So, yeah, even this one we can't get 100, so we're probably going to fail. Right, so the average here is higher than we can roll, so yeah, it's unknown unrest, or guaranteed 10 unrest, but we get nothing, do nothing else. I'm going to go ahead and press this one because I'm actually, no, we don't want meritocracy because meritocracy is reducing our democracy. So I'm actually going to press them to do nothing. New governor. We have someone that has some suitability rating to it, so he gets the job. Intelligence officers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Intelligence experts. Okay, rest diminished 4 due to time, 11 due to having a bunch of troops in the zone, but it went up. It's supposed to go up 10. Maybe it went up 5 prior to me pushing the button, and it went up 10 more from the button.
Yes, sir. We're definitely taking gunfire. Run! Run! Run!
Okay, so that is where the nomads are. Is still nomad territory up here? Yeah. Right up to there. So if I can, I want to sort of gently push the nomads back away from the capital a little bit. The best way to usually do that is to get enough to build a full sort of passive wall between you and where you don't want them to be. leave the 3 militia units there. Obviously, if we can, want to replace our regular professional army units. You notice that there's 300 in the queue. I'm pretty sure those are militia 300 guys, not regular army units, because I hadn't queued them up yet. Could propose peace with these guys, but don't really want to, unless I can follow it up later with an offer of protection, but they're already at war with a major. That roll will not succeed. Non-aligned you can't do it on them, and these guys, you know where we're getting up to in the 700s this early in the game. Treasure hoard, bunch of metals, raw materials, and fuel. Let's not do that. And these are things we play on leaders. So I think for the moment we... Oh, those guys got mauled going into the nomads. That's part of the reason we have the machine gun unit, because the machine gun unit, hopefully defending the city, won't get mauled. As things are calming down, do I want to start building? Oh, we start with wind traps. That's... Oh, wind traps are a source of water. Okay, it's an old source of water. Good to know. It was wind turbines, which it isn't. Could build level 1 in bureaucratic offices, the one in more bureaucracy, which is tempting. But no, I think we'll hold off for a bit. How much does it cost to nationalize you? 500 credits. Okay, so if we can, we want to save up 500 credits. Okay, so the mercanteers here have gone a little bit aggressive. Okay, by round 23 we can probably do that. We could have done that this turn if we wanted to.
Yes, sir.
We had no decisions really to the mercanteers. The mercanteers have just decided they want some of my territory, which is not great. One of those Galactic Republic units we got a hold of was these tanks. We now have a unit of otherwise free tanks. So, nuclear engine, so we don't have to use any petrol to drive the thing. And it has a laser gun for a turret. And waiting for our logistics to deliver stuff to our troops. Can we see? No, we don't see that. major yet. Let's go ahead and send spies. If we get enough spy in there, we might be able to see the major. That's the turn. It's reminding us about those bureaucratic assets that we said we'd build.
Order
Just the
acknowledged.
need for more research. National budget. Right now I want these all to be about the same.
Yes, sir.
We already agreed to this, so
Yes, sir.
we'll press that one.
Roger that.
Bundesstaat demands regular relations. I'm tempted to say no, because them being at war with the major means I do want to take territory off of them. On the other hand, the logistics wouldn't be super easy, and we are dealing with having to keep our neighbors, the territorial neighbors, there are north and south, from moving into our territory. Yeah, we'll agree to it. We might change our mind later, but we'll agree to it for now. We'll deploy our zoo project.
Roger that.
Zoo doesn't like zoos. We now have the money to buy out the transport hub, so we'll buy the transport hub. I am going to bite that bullet and buy one level of bureaucratic
Roger that.
offices. And we'll cycle the turn. Because of the phone call in the middle, I'm going to run this episode probably what I think is a little long, just in case it ends up a bit short otherwise. So we completed both our goals of getting BP bureaucratic buildings to 2. Umbrella sensors. Research bonus. Okay, so not super important. So really, I just want these guys to not be poking to my territory, but I haven't been lucky enough to get any events from them making them happier. CEO is asking for a subsidy. I will have to say no if I don't have a good way to get the money for him. We're going to say no to this new organization.
Yes, sir.
We're going to delay it and let the cost come down a bit. If you run them back to back to back, the cost goes a little bit higher every time, whereas if you put a gap between them, they'll get cheaper.
Roger that.
We probably won't end up using that tank, but we'll start developing it anyway. Intelligence expert or Claymore expert. I ideally want neither, but we'll go with intelligence
Yes,
extra.
sir.
I probably could sell some food. They're still willing to buy food, and they are. For like 100 ducats, or 100 money. How much do you need? You need 200 money. 200 money might be too much. Yeah, 200 money is too much. Sorry. No, we are gaining a bunch of water we don't need. I could sell water, crash the water price. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes, sir.
That will be enough.
Order
Give you
acknowledged.
your subsidies. So now we're kind of hoping that this guy backs up a bit. Which he might not do anytime soon. How's Phoenix Lands? Unrest looking down to 36. Diminished 2 due to time, diminished 5 due to the presence of troops. Danger zone was gone here, which is nice. Increased 7, but diminished 7, so it stayed neutral. It will probably start going up once the unrest goes away. Here we have high unrest due to the nomads being right there. And militancy is actually staying neutral right now, because our troop army isn't too big. And we'll take a
Order
roll. We'll probably
received.
lose the roll. No, we succeed in the roll, but we succeed in the roll in a way that it tells us there's no archaeological finds. Sad. I like archaeological finds. They're one of the reasons I sometimes like playing on planets with lots of people before the apocalypse, so that you've got lots of ruins after the apocalypse. Round 16, we have 3 decisions. So he hasn't backed up. We don't necessarily need more people on that front for the moment. You can see that I'm just sort of pushing these guys back because they've annoyed me. Is that a good reason to push them back? No. It's just the reason that's driving what I'm doing.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders. Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
You need to fight for the Godfather. No, I am not going to come say hi. It is a demand. If I didn't think I was able to do the demand, refusing would be less penalty than accepting and failing, but this is one that's plausible
Yes, sir.
to do, so I'll take the risk. Nomad traders want to sell me ammunition. I do want to buy your ammunition. Of course, I will need to sell something to do that. Water, tank the price of water already. Probably get away with selling like 11 rare materials,
Yes, sir.
rare earth metals. Is that enough? Looks like it's enough.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
Rest is downtrending, which is causing happiness to rise. And I suppose before we get off to another war, because we're having to have troops all over the place, should wait for the manpower to pull back up again. Any strat cards do I want to play before end of the turn? And the answer looks like a no. We can try that archaeological exploration. So we'll try on the capital.
Order received.
And... oh, that was the antitrust operation. Whoops. onto the archaeological expansion. Okay, and what we do know now is, first, we may have just pissed off the corporation because I tried to antitrust them. And second, that we have no archaeological sites within our 2 zones currently. They still look reasonably happy. And they're not currently being taxed. Okay. So I'm going to cycle the turn, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and end the part. So if you're watching on YouTube and want to see more, there'll be more tomorrow. I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing, because I'll have to merge the 2 parts because of the phone call in the middle. But everything should be fine other than that. And hope all of you have a good time until the next recording.